The human body has over 600 muscles, which are responsible for movement, stability, and maintaining posture. These muscles can be divided into three main types: skeletal, smooth, and cardiac. Smooth muscles are found in the walls of organs and blood vessels and are responsible for involuntary movements such as digestion and blood flow regulation. Cardiac muscles are found only in the heart and are responsible for pumping blood throughout the body. Some of the major skeletal muscles in the body include trapezius, deltoids to maintain the health of your muscles through exercise, stretching, and proper nutrition. If you experience muscle pain or injury, it's essential to consult with a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and treatment. The trapezius muscle is a large, triangular-shaped muscle that extends from the back of the neck down to the middle of the back and across the shoulders. It is one of the major muscles of the back and is responsible for various movements of the shoulder blade and neck. The trapezius muscle is divided into three parts: the upper, middle, and lower fibers. The upper fibers are responsible for elevating the shoulder blades and rotating them outward, as in shrugging the shoulders. The middle fibers retract the shoulder blades toward the spine, while the lower fibers depress and upwardly rotate the shoulder blades. The trapezius muscle can be strengthened through shoulder shrugs, upright rows, and rows with a resistance band or dumbbells. Stretching exercises, such as the trapezius stretch, can also help alleviate tension and improve flexibility in the muscle. The trapezius muscle can be affected by a number of conditions, including strain, sprain, and trigger points, which can cause pain, stiffness, and limited range of motion. Treatment for trapezius muscle injuries may include rest, ice, physical therapy, and pain-relieving medications. It's important to consult with a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and treatment of any muscle-related issues. The biceps muscle is a two-headed muscle located in the front of the upper arm. It is responsible for flexing the elbow and rotating the forearm. The two heads of the biceps are the long head and the short head. The long head originates from the shoulder blade and attaches to the radius bone in the forearm. In contrast, the short head originates from the coracoid process of the shoulder blade and links to the same point on the radius. The biceps muscle can be strengthened through bicep curls, hammer curls, and chin-ups. Stretching exercises, such as the bicep stretch, can also help alleviate tension and improve flexibility in the muscle. The biceps muscle can be affected by several conditions, including strains, sprains, and tears, which can cause pain, weakness, and a limited range of motion. Treatment for biceps muscle injuries may include rest, ice, physical therapy, and pain-relieving medications. In some cases, surgery may be necessary to repair a torn biceps tendon. It's important to consult with a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and treatment of any muscle-related issues. The triceps muscle is a three-headed muscle located at the back of the upper arm. It is responsible for extending the elbow. The three heads of the triceps are the long head, the lateral head, and the medial head. The long head originates from the scapula bone, while the lateral and medial heads originate from the humerus bone. All three heads merge into a single tendon that attaches to the ulna bone in the forearm. With a cable machine, the triceps muscle can be strengthened through tricep extensions, tricep dips, and pushdowns. Stretching exercises, such as the tricep stretch, can also help alleviate tension and improve flexibility in the muscle. The triceps muscle can be affected by several conditions, including strains, sprains, and tears, which can cause pain, weakness, and a limited range of motion. Treatment for triceps muscle injuries may include rest, ice, physical therapy, and pain-relieving medications. In some cases, surgery may be necessary to repair a torn triceps tendon. It's essential to consult with a healthcare professional for proper diagnosis and treatment of any muscle-related issues. Matthew, a cancer and stroke survivor, requests that you help spread awareness of severe diseases by publishing this video. Please take a moment to subscribe to and like this video.